Okay, I want to talk about Fragrantica and its most powerful feature, in my opinion. I'm not going to mention the owners or the politics of it all, or even the fact that reviews go up for fragrances that aren't even out yet, or the stupidest thing of all, where the reviews come out where people say things like, "Ooh, I can't wait to try this one. The note listing looks great." What is that? What is that even? I mean, that's for a different video. Anyway, probably made by a different person because I frankly don't care. What I do care about is this one specific feature on that site that helps me to understand a scent more than anything else. And no, it's not the fragrance pyramid, it's not the rating, it's not even the reviews people leave. The feature that I'm talking about is the "this perfume reminds me of" section. The way that we smell is inherently different, and the way scent behaves on our skin can be as independent as a fingerprint, as I've mentioned in a previous video. You can watch it there. So whilst having a fragrance pyramid might give you the general idea or a theme of a fragrance, it often won't get close to how the thing actually smells to you. And they inherently interfere with, or rather, these reviews and all these other things basically interfere or prime your expectations so that you do the mental gymnastics to adjust what you're smelling to what the notes in the pyramid are inferring you to smell. So even if it shocked you and subverted your expectations upon first sniff, you will do the mental gymnastics to make things fit, because that's just what people do. Oftentimes, the pyramid is merely a fraction of all of the myriad of notes that a fragrance has anyway. And don't even get me started on those fantasy notes. Things like amber, for example, are interpreted in so many ways that just by seeing it in the pyramid will prime you to expect a fragrance to smell a certain way. And that way is often related to another fragrance that you've smelled previously that also had the same note. Such is the axiom which states that everything is understood in comparison. This axiom unveils a profound truth about the fabric of existence. Meaning is not born in isolation, but in the interplay of contrasts, like a tapestry where each thread gains its significance from its neighbors. Perception of reality is woven through relational distinctions. From Heraclitus' unity of From Heraclitus's unity of opposites to the yin and yang of Eastern thought. Existence thrives on interdependence. Light defines shadow, joy gives shape to sorrow, and being emerges against the void of non-being. These dualities are not mere opposites, but symbiotic forces, each co-creating each other's essence. Structuralism reminds us that words derive meaning from difference. Hot exists only in relation to cold. Similarly, Einstein's relativity, though scientific, echoes a philosophical truth. Value, scale, and even time are contextual, anchored in comparison. Now, if understanding is relational, absolutes dissolve into a dance of perspectives. This invites humility, as our knowledge is always contextual, shaped by the contrasts we encounter. So to claim absolute understanding is to ignore the silent partner, the other that defines it. Now consider a musical note. Its beauty lies not in isolation, but within a scale. A C note gains its character from the B that precedes it and the D that follows. So too our lives resonate meaning through the harmonies and dissonances we navigate. In this light, comparison is more than a cognitive tool. It is the loom on which reality is threaded. To understand is to recognize that nothing exists in a vacuum. Every concept, every emotion and object is a mirror reflecting its counterparts. Thus, wisdom lies in embracing the relational nature of existence, where meaning flourishes in the spaces between. Beautiful, isn't it? And here we come to the genius of the "this reminds me of" section, because everything is understood in comparison. Even before Fragrantica existed, like in the early 2000s, I was an avid Bass noter, the original fragrance reference and review website. No, I never wrote reviews, but I read them fervently on my journey to find my next fragrance. After a while, I realized the tool that I used the most wasn't the reviews, it wasn't the notes, not even the musings of my favorite reviewer who goes by the moniker of Photitus. It was actually the Control F function, or Command F if you're on a Mac. So this command, if you use it, is used to search and find certain text within a web page. And I always used it to search the text smells like or similar to, and it would pick up reviews where someone had stated that this perfume smells like or is similar to another perfume. So I did that in the hopes of the other perfume being mentioned would be a perfume that I already have or have access to or have smelled before, in order for me to really and truly understand the general gist of this scent. I switched to Fragrantica mainly because of this comparison feature, and because it kept showing up in Google searches ahead of base notes. I hadn't realized it at the time, but I'd been searching in base notes for what a fragrance smelled like because I wanted to know the scent. Base notes didn't have a scale of how much a fragrance leans masculine or feminine, or the price scale, or the longevity or sillage scales. And as a result of not having these visualizations, people's perceptions, first and foremost, was the scent. How does it smell? This perfume reminds me of is the feature that best promotes this behavior. And I think it should be made mandatory prior to writing a review. Just my opinion. Because the larger the sample set of data in this section that we have, the better we'll be able to judge the way a scent will smell to us. And even though those scales of price, gender, and performance exist, I'm supremely glad that we're not able to search for fragrances using those metrics, because in my mind, it would ruin the entire fragrance industry. More so than now. I mean, can you imagine? If they allowed you to search using a combination of those scales, right? I can tell you the most common search would be a great value fragrance that has eternal longevity with beast mode projection and has a rating of over 4.2 from at least 500 votes, but not over 1,000 because I don't want to smell like something that's too popular. And whatever fragrance the top results would be there would start to sell like hotcakes. And this is a terrible idea. Why is this not a good idea? Because it distorts the market by prioritizing factors outside of the actual smell of the fragrance in determining the sales success of that product. So companies and perfume houses would see this and then they would follow suit, not caring too much on crafting an olfactory narrative, but rather bludgeon us with Thor's hammer of fixatives, which are those base notes that have the best performance characteristics. Pretty soon, many fragrances will end up smelling the same, especially in the base notes, kind of like they do now. Oh,